So just before my friend comes to the beach, she doesn't know this shit, but so I've been really ill with shingles and I'm still unwell. So this will probably be the first and only time that you'll ever see me without my lipstick on. I've been putting on red lipstick since I was 15, so anyway, I'm just getting stonewalled at the doctors now, and the receptionist is now making diagnoses on me. And when I mentioned to her that I thought I'd actually had something like this for the last 5 years, she just said that'll be right enough. So I still not got to see a doctor. Anyway, I'll say no more on that. So anyway, I've not been very good today, but I've come down to the beach because my friend asked me to, and I've lit this fire. She's the worst timekeeper in the whole world. She'll just laugh when she hears me saying this. So I thought she was coming straight from work, so I've made 4 wee sausages in there, and I brought 4 rolls, and I brought this wee pan from the house so to heat them up in. But the fire is because I just found out last night actually, I just found out that my beloved sponsor of 26 years died yesterday morning. So I just found out last night, and so it's quite a blow. Because that person was the person who got me sober and kept me sober when at 3 months I walked into the house and the whole kitchen was covered in booze from one end of the counter to another. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and then I said, what's going on? And my husband, then husband, said, Reiki doesn't work on shingles, by the way. Anyway, he said, I've invited everybody in for a party from next door, and it was a bonfire. It was bonfire night. And I just nearly went to pieces because I had really low self-esteem and I didn't really want to invite these people into my home, and I wasn't drinking. So that was the big thing. I wasn't drinking, so I didn't have a dummy tit. And I also didn't want them to know that I'd stopped drinking either. So and then I also knew that if I phoned her, that, you know, I guessed that she would say, oh, you can't drink, you know, and that was probably enough to make me drink. But I had also started the 12-step program by that time with her, so I knew that, you know, I needed to phone her. And then when I did phone her, she said, oh, it would be lovely to have that glass of wine, wouldn't it? And I said, oh yeah, it would be so lovely. And she said, I know, but unfortunately for us, it would be the whole bottle, not just the one. It would be one bottle, not a glass. In fact, it might even be more than one bottle. And I said, oh, you're absolutely right. And her in her wisdom, for she was very wise, And at that point she was 9 years sober, said to me, what's making you want to drink anyway? And I said, oh, 'cause I'm frightened, I'm scared. And it actually didn't even make any sense, but when I spoke it through with her, I suddenly felt a whole lot better. We had the neighbours in, and they were the ones who ended up revealing themselves to me, which was very interesting. And that was that. So that woman then supported me for 26 years. Wow. And it wasn't that I would phone her, or sometimes I would only see her once a year, and I would go to her meeting and I would give her lilies usually and a card. And this year I had shingles, so I texted her a message which I didn't get any reply to, and then I heard that she was in hospital last week. So you watching my patience and tolerance here. So anyway, I didn't get to her home with the lilies, and justified that by being unwell, but it's the first year ever that I've done that. And then I heard the news last night, so bummer. Anyway, I came down to this beach yesterday, and I was so sore at home, and then I thought I'll try and walk. So I came down to the beach, and then I suddenly found myself clearing this altar that some friends and myself had used before, and I cleared it all, and then I decided to make a new one, and I didn't know why, and I didn't know what I was doing, but anyway I just did it, and I spent quite a long time doing it, and there was hardly anybody here on the beach. I can't even remember if it was a nice day or not, but anyway, it was yesterday. It's the midges. And I'm a wee bit all over the place. I've never really been in such pain before either. So anyway, I started making this altar, and I didn't know what I was doing. I ended up putting 12 stones on the top of the altar, and then I put a big circle of stones all round about it, and then, sorry, I'm getting bitten now, although I'm sitting at the fire. And then I went and gathered the last of flowers, so just like dandelions and stuff like that. And then when I just looked over, there's a rose bush. It's just grown out of the rocks, and I just saw one little rose petal because all the other buds are coming on it, and I went and got it. Sorry, it's midges here. I went and got it and put it on the altar. So then when I left the beach and I got home, I got a message from this girl who's coming in now to say that my sponsor had passed away. So I guess I was making that altar for her and I didn't even know. So she's going to be a huge miss in Alcoholics Anonymous and out with it. And she was just totally dedicated to her family and her loved ones, and just totally dedicated to our daughters and our in-laws and our grandchildren, of which she had many, and great-grandchildren as well. As well as giving all this time that she gave to us. So I'll show you the altar. That was two Egypts passing me by, sitting, staring at me while I'm talking to my phone. And just glaring at me and letting her stupid two big dogs run near my wee dog. So here's the altar. Don't know if you can see it or not. And that's the 12 stones on the top. And somehow this circle is all the people that she has helped. Big and small, all colours, all creeds, all different kinds of people. And from them, from her, grew me, from me, grew others, from the others, grew others. So there's a huge big timeline from not her, just her, but it actually goes back to the founder of Alcoholics Anonymous, who's Bill Wilson. And Bill Wilson sponsored, I think it was AB, I'm not sure, because my brain's not really working properly right now. And he then sponsored a man called Dan, who I was in Florida with him at the Florida 45th convention, I think it was, AA convention. Oh my God, how good's that? And then Dan sponsored Joe, and Joe sponsored Margaret, and Margaret sponsored me. Oh my God, how amazing is that? So that's Bill W, AB, if it was AB, Dan, Joe, Margaret, me. So I'm 6th in line from Bill Wilson, the founder of Alcoholics Anonymous. Oh my God. And then all my wee sponsees have sponsees who have sponsees. But among all that, it's not about sobriety, it's about working the 12-step program in order to hold on to that sobriety, and in order to become relatively, I repeat, relatively sane. Relatively sane, so we can put up with shingles and people talk crap and people like they two idiots, just. And I'm trying to learn to be tolerant and patient, and sometimes it's quite. Did you see that attacking me there? Bloody things. Yeah. It's about keeping on the good fight for the light and for love. So goodbye, Margaret. I wish you a fantastic crossing, wherever you are, wherever you're going.